What's good, everybody? It's late. I know some of you may see this after I've completed the live video, but I'm sitting here at the church and doing some preparations for a major event that we're doing on tomorrow. And it just hit me, just to ask the question, why do we do what we do? I've been in so many conversations over the last week or so of pastors that were really disheartened and hurt, and business leaders that things don't appear to be the same as they were. Persons are not as easily adaptable back into comfortable situations in which they were in before. But I think as never before, we have to be reminded, why is it that we do what we do? I pulled up to the church tonight and I could tell that our team had been in the building. They brought in food and all of this other stuff to prepare for tomorrow. And then there's a gentleman that is sleeping outside of the church. There's a gentleman that is sleeping outside of the church. And as soon as I pulled up the car, the first thing he said is, "Sir, do I need to leave?" He's basically saying, I have nowhere else to go. This is where I sleep every night, outside the church. I don't bother anybody. And I'm just thinking to myself, we become so used to doing what we do. We have so many activities, we have so many projects, and we forget to talk to the people that absolutely need us the most. Yesterday, I posted a picture that was made for me, that was painted for me 20 years ago when I was preaching in South America. And it reminded me of all of the things that I saw in South America, how persons have to walk to where they have to go, and you have cars, and you don't even think, what life is like without a car. Persons that live in shacks, tin roofs, that don't have electrical or plumbing. But you go home every day, you turn on a switch and you flush a toilet and you think nothing about it. I saw all of this. It blew my mind. This was 20 years ago. And I think about coming back to America, how comfortable we are, and we forget the people that Jesus told us to handle the least of these. He said, if someone is hungry, you need to feed them. If someone is naked, you need to clothe them. If someone is sick, you need to be with them. If someone is alone, you need to companion them. If someone is in jail, you need to go and visit them. And they said, Lord, when have you ever been in this destitute place? He said, it's not me, but you do it for the least of these. Tonight, this is just a reminder. Why do you do what you do? Why do you go to church week after week after week? I'm tired of going to church week after week. Who can sing the best, who can preach the best, who can do this, and we're not touching the least of these. We're not touching the least of these. And those of you who are Christians, you should be so tired and disgusted the way the church is. Churches don't want to go into the community. Churches don't want to evangelize. Churches don't want to touch the community. And we wonder why people don't want to come in the building. It's because we don't want to go to them. I know you're good. I know you got your job and you're really deep and you got a whole bunch of oil on your head and you got a jerk in your spirit, but you have no power. The power that God has given to you is for you to give it to the least of these. Is someone better because of you? This man just changed my life. I just had a conversation with him outside the church. He sleeps there every night. He don't want a room. He didn't want anything from me. He didn't want any food. He just wanted me to say, Pastor, I'm okay here. We have immunizations and vaccinations and information from different of our community leaders. And I'm thinking about all of this stuff, like, why do we do what we do? We always do back to school events. We always do this. We always do that. But what do you do when nobody is looking? That's right, Byron. Hopefully you have my book, Who's Eating Me? What do you do when nobody is looking? So I wanted to hop on tonight. Y'all know I don't do Facebook lives like that of myself. If it's not me preaching or teaching Bible study, I don't do that. I just don't do that. But tonight I had to come in to remind us and ask the question, why do we do what we do? Whose life is better because of you? You should be tired of going to church, just sitting there, and no one's life is impacted for you. Sunday, I'm teaching about children, and I think about the African proverb that whenever men in African villages would greet one another, they would not ask about others. They would not ask about what you've obtained. They would not ask about your property. They will ask you, the first question will be, how are the children? How are the children? And I was thinking about this, and I'm done, I promise. All of this church stuff that my children see me do, see my wife do, our family. If I don't show them how to be the hands and feet of Christ, they're just going to be ones that occupy a building like we've done for generation after generation. We've been taught how to have great church, but we haven't been taught how to be community. Everybody know how to run, dance, jerk, buck, all of this good stuff, but we don't know how to be community. We don't know how to be the hands and feet of Jesus. We don't know how to talk to homeless people. We don't know how to talk to unchurched people. Because everybody in your circle go to church, they're well-to-do. You don't even want to shake anyone's hand that don't smell good. And we wonder why the church is ineffective today. During the course of the pandemic, more than 2,500 churches closed every week. 2,500 churches closed every week. And you have all of these pastors who've committed suicide, many of them broken with anguish because they've been trying to lead people to see Christ. And they were suffering with depression and stress and worry because I'm trying to get people to love Jesus, to love the community, to be involved. And I'm trying to do all of this stuff because I have all of this stuff on the inside of me that God has called me to do. And I'm trying to lead people who don't want to move. And I'm so frustrated because pastors have been told not to be transparent and let people know how you feel, but we're tired. People are tired. Pastors are tired because they're trying to get their people to see community, to see Jesus, to move the needle beyond church services. But we don't want to go to church. We're going on trips. We don't want to go to church. We go to work every day. We don't want to go to church, but we go out to dinner. I'm afraid somebody's going to touch me and I'm going to get the cooties or the coronavirus, but I'm doing everything that I want to do because I found every excuse in the book for me not to be the hands and feet of Jesus. And we wonder why our lives are ineffective. We wonder why our churches are ineffective. And I'm at this place, God, if I never have a mega church, if I never stand up every week and give people a motivational speech to make them feel well and never challenge them, help me not be that person. Help me be the pastor that help persons to become full so they can empty themselves out to others that really need them. That's it, y'all. That hit me tonight. Excited about tomorrow. If you're in Tampa, come by and see us at 18th Street Park, Al Barnes Park. I wanted to remind us tonight, what are you doing? What's the purpose? Is if you don't get anything else from what I've said tonight, is anyone better because of you? That's it. That's the question. I need you to ask others around you. Share this video if you want to. Just the question, is anyone better because of me? If no one is better because of you, that you're showing them that you are the hands and feet of Christ, you have done a disservice and you need to get it together. I love y'all. Have a good night.